welcome to Cosmos with Bailey. I'm Bailey and I'm a psychic medium and spiritual healer based in New Zealand. And today's video is going to be on succubus, energetic and emotional manipulation and how this happens. So I've done a video before on succubus harvestation and how succubus energy is after men's masculine potency and life force. I've done two videos on succubus energy, which is masculine harvestation and demonic feminine energy, which I'll link. And then the second video, men and vital life force and the sacral chakra and being discerning with feminine energies. I will also link that one below. But today I'm going to go into a little bit more detail on succubus energy manipulation, how this happens, female frequency, and also going into with the diagram and showing the diagram of how this happens and then how it affects you. And succubus energy is a lower realm expression of feminine energy. Not all females that use emotional manipulation tactics have succubus energy working through them. In order for succubus energy to be working through certain females, there has to be a resonance within the female. And there also, as I said, just because a woman is highly emotionally manipulative or lying or vindictive, it doesn't mean there's succubus energy working through her. It could be something else like an entity, or there's trauma or whatever. But I do know for a succubus to work through a female, she has to have ill intent to begin with. So someone who almost like purposely emotionally manipulates or is purposely after someone's money or has very, very ill intent and low morals. A woman can be emotionally manipulative but not be, malevolent, I think is the correct word. And it's just coming from trauma instead of, or autopilot instead of a focused intent. So there's a difference. Yes, okay, so I'm going to bring up the diagram here. And basically what I've drawn on my tablet on Photoshop, and also this comes from my own experiences working with the psychic and also doing a succubus energy and how it's working through men, and then also working with clients who have had emotional or psychic manipulation happen to them, and also shutting off and removing that energy from their energy field. So as you can see here on the diagram, we've got someone in a lower state or heavy energy. And then we've got someone here in the yellow energy that is light and joyous, and I would say maybe benevolent energy. And there's no darkness or ickiness in their energy field. There could be a little bit, but not as much as the person in the heavier energy. What can happen with the person in the heavier energy is that they can get attachments, or they can start to resonate with energies in the lower psychic realms that attach onto the energy field. I'm also going to say just because you have these experiences, it doesn't mean you've drawn them to you, and it doesn't mean that you are an energetic match to them. However, when it comes to succubus working through other people, there will be an energetic match or a vibration that says, yes, this is for me, I'm working with this. Usually you have to have very low ethics and morals. You have to I think it's also in females, it's the lower ego. There's no very little spirit connection, and operating off of lots of survivalist and old world frequencies, manipulation, deceivement, and using and abusing others' energies for their own personal gain. That's a very big one, using and abusing other people's energies for their own personal gain. So I've explained today how that happens and how things latch on and then work through. You can see in the diagram here, up above what I call the lower psychic realms, is a succubus energy with her wings and her legs and her horns. I have seen this in my dream realms. And it's a very annoying and insidious energy that just won't leave you alone unless you get very, very clear, concise boundaries and you shut off all communication and energetic intertwinements with this person. And also if you're in a relationship or a marriage and you have incredible interference from another female, it could well be succubus energy trying to interfere through another female. It could be past relationships. It can work in so many different ways. So what happens is the succubus energy is a demonic form of feminine energy in the lower realms. It works through the person here in the grey aura and the grey energy body. You can see the red lines and that they're using this person's channel and consciousness or crown chakra. It most likely will be connected via the crown chakra. And the energy will be working through this person's consciousness and energy body, and they will be working with the succubus wants and needs. Succubus energy is after your light and your sexual energy, first and foremost. She feeds off of potent life force and cannot look after or cultivate her own light. So she feeds off others. Really common stuff in the lower psychic realms. And so as you can see, the red lines are working through this person's energy field. And then if you have some type of energetic connection, maybe you've had sexual connection, or maybe this is a friend or a family member, or just a random that you met, it could be through many different ways in which this energy could work. The energy then, even if you're living with them, or if it's a flatmate, this energy then works through and gets into your energy field. When you are in living environments or in close proximity with certain people for a long period of time, your energy bodies are intertwining all the time, especially in living situations. And what can happen is, you can see here the red energy, which have been the succubus energy, works through and intertwines with your energy field. You may not have any attachments whatsoever, but you can, if you're not really strong in self-respect and self-worth, this energy can work through this person and enter into your energy field and realms and make a really insidious energetic connection to you. So I'm going to just talk a little bit. Okay, so that was female frequency, and then what happens to you? So usually this person will have very little awareness of their own behavior. They'll be running off of the lower ego and the feminine, and they're out for service to self and self-gain from the lower ego. They are after things that are going to benefit them, and they're going to make them look good and going to make them look like, and it's very hierarchical. I dreamt of this too. It's incredibly hierarchical. These females are hierarchical, that is of the ego, and they want to be at the top at all costs, and they want to dominate others. This is also how you get butch feminine energy, where you're not soft and flowy in the divine feminine. You also get women using the term of the divine feminine or dark feminine for their own selfish gains and self-manipulation and trying to manipulate men. Yes, manipulation of masculine energy. So, and also they'll use emotional manipulation tactics, which will be psychic manipulation. Emotional manipulation is trying to use and abuse your own psychic life force energies and get it to do what they want. Very common in the lower realms and the realms of the ego. This is where you get use and abuse. I'm going to dominate and control your life force, and I'm going to make you do what I want, and I'm going to get from you what I want. They have little to disregard for you and your life force and your spirit and your own personal wants and needs in you as a unique individual. This energy is after dominating and controlling your energy field for its own needs. So over time, when this type of manipulation has happened in your energy field, you start to become overtaken with the succubus energy and this feminine energy, and she'll use high levels of manipulation, lies, and deceivement to get what she wants. And she most likely will be running in a group of very similar females or people who are running off the same frequency as her. You may over time become a type of slave or puppet for her. You may hand over and the reason why this happens in the first place, I've come to the very common sense conclusion how these things happen in the first place, this harvestation and emotional and psychic manipulation is because the person does not have psychic boundaries, a very, very high and strong sense of self or self-worth. The way to combat or overcome these energies is to get very, very, very high levels of self-worth, psychic boundaries, spiritual discernment, and self-respect. Self-respect is the biggest thing that you can cultivate to say no to psychic and emotional manipulation of your own life force and energy field. So over time, yes, you could become a puppet, you could have dreams, you could have really, really interfering psychic dreams that are not what's actually happening but are creating distortion, manipulation, chaos, and confusion in your psychic realms from the succubus energy that's working through this other individual. And so you've got to be really careful when around people and how the energies are affecting you. This is a very good expression of this. And yeah, so as I said, anything that's going on in this person's energy field, including the succubus energy, will be working in your energy field. And as a byproduct of having this manipulation, all these cords and interference happen in your energy body, you're going to start resonating with this person's energy. You're going to lose your sense of self. You're going to lose your boundaries. You're probably going to hand over your finances. You're going to find that you want to try and fit in with these people. They may not be healthy or loving or supportive people. You could find yourself in very abusive situations and very abusive dynamics. By nature, with succubus energy, it is quite psychically abusive. However, you can make your way back out of it very easily with some good common sense and boundaries. However, it does take a while to do that. What else do I need to say here? Yeah, so basically you have to be very careful. And with feminine energies and the realms of feminine energy, I go into this in the original succubus video that I did. And you know, there's so many ways in which this could happen. It could happen through an ex-girlfriend that you've had a child with. It could happen and you like this female won't leave you alone. She's interfering in your relationships. It could happen through, it could happen through many, many different ways. And this energy will latch on through this person into your energy field and latch onto your chakra system and then manipulate your chakra system and life force. It's very insidious and I've seen it happen. And it can be quite common without you realizing, like, why am I glued to this woman? I don't like this woman. I don't like her energy. Why can't I get out from under her grip? Psychic manipulation. That is why, my friends. Yeah, so basically what I'm going to recommend here for you to get out of these situations is to go and see a healer, an energy healer, or a spiritual healer. I have spirit world sessions in which I can help you come out of these circumstances. They can be very insidious to remove, and sometimes it can take a few sessions. And essentially, sometimes when these things happen, it's time for you to get better boundaries, self-respect and self-worth as a man or a female. And to also start choosing better females and situations to put yourself in. And start cultivating very, very high levels of life force and self-respect and say no thank you to energies that wish ill upon you. So, yes. Yeah, and so just serves as I feel like that diagram just explains things really well, and then it latches on to your energy body through this other person, the succubus energy, and it's most likely after attention, money, finances, fame, from the lower ego or the lower feminine self, which I would say. And your energy body over time as a man or a woman can get completely overcome and manipulated by this energy into doing her bidding. She doesn't respect divine masculine energy. She doesn't respect divine feminine energy. In fact, she will use and abuse divine feminine energy. She will lie and deceive about other women. And she will also use such psychic tactics as aura painting or lying, deceiving, and painting you with psychic energies or black magic or spells. I've seen this happen. And usually there will be high levels of manipulative black magic or sometimes using energy on purpose or in some circumstances calling upon succubus energy on purpose. And using those energies. Anyone doing witchcraft, black magic, spell work, and they are not fully aligned with their heart. They are wanting, say they want a boyfriend to break up with someone, or they're wanting money, finances, and thing, and they've called upon something and done spells, it's most likely succubus work. A lot of the time, I'd say around 80 to 85% of the time, people don't know what they're calling upon. The other 15 to 10% know exactly what they're doing. In the case that I saw with this, in my line of work, I saw the succubus energy. It was very clear this woman knew exactly what she was doing, and in many of her past lives, she had chosen to work with energy in that way. These things don't just happen out of nowhere. Specifically, when there is succubus energy, there is someone with very, very low morals and ethics and has ill intent on purpose. Please don't make excuses for people who use and abuse your energy. There is a difference between someone who's working on autopilot, then a difference between someone who has malicious intent on purpose and wants to interfere. Okay. Yes, so I'm going to put in a little bit of list of things that could happen and that may happen to you. Please feel free to leave any comments about your own experiences of succubus energy. As I said, it can take quite a while for you to separate off from this person. I recommend getting space. I recommend looking into your chakras, cleansing your energy body, and the thing is, it takes a little bit of time to come back from these circumstances. Healing and getting your full control and life force back from these types of connections can take quite a while. It just depends on the circumstance and how insidious it is, but also once you have these things happen to you, you get very good with discernment and saying no thank you to energies you do not want in your life. Okay, do I have anything else to say? Okay, I'm coming back on the camera now. Thank you very much for watching on my succubus video. I thought that diagram was a very good explanation of how those energies work. My drawing of succubus isn't quite what I saw. I also didn't want to use someone else's art of succubus energy, but from what I saw a demonic energy with red eyes, horns, bat wings, boobs, black body, very malicious. I will say there's nothing to fear. You know, these things can be ironed out very easily with strong amounts of light, discernment, self-respect, and dignity and self-worth. That is your best option against interfering energies. Okay, do I have anything else to say on succubus energy? Yeah, I mean, it happens, and yeah, you'll probably need to do some calling back and reclaim back your life force, and there's many things that have to take place in order for you to get your energy back and sealed off. Sealing off is a really big thing with succubus, harvestation, or energetic and emotional manipulation. You can get very emotionally manipulated with these types of connections. Gaslit, all that stuff. You got to be very onto it and clean and clear in yourself to decipher it and also call it out. Okay. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope that was helpful. And as I said, please leave your own experiences of succubus energy. If you're struggling with these types of connections, you're most welcome to book a spirit world session with me. And thank you very much for watching.